Welcome to this week's Apocalyptic Art Workshop with me, Ashley, as we create easy DIY bird feeders. I would like to start my workshop with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge and humbly recognize that we are living and working on Turtle Island in Takaronto, the traditional, current, unceded territories of the Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Seneca, and Ojibwe Mississaugas of the Credit River First Nations. Here's a little background info about myself. I'm a 27-year-old non-binary Afro-Indigenous multidisciplinary artist, baker, entrepreneur, and psychology student. I run a baking catering business called Pig Out Pastries. I am also part of the Weavin' Men Collective, a mixed Indigenous group based out of Takaronto that focuses on the resurgence of traditional Indigenous practices for the queer, two-spirit, Black, and Indigenous people of color residing on Turtle Island. The first DIY project is going to be a Pinecone Feeder. Materials for this includes smooth peanut butter, some scissors, string, a butter knife, a few pine cones, and of course, some birdseed. To get started, we are going to make an open knot with a piece of string and tighten it to the tip of the pine cone. Next, we will spread the peanut butter onto the pine cone. Be sure to spread some at the base of it as well. Once the peanut butter is spread, roll the pine cone in the birdseed, being sure to get in all the crevices. Shake off any excess seed, and these are ready to hang outside. The next DIY project, we will be making a bird feeder out of a can and some rope. Materials for this include a cleaned out large empty can with its lid, a large popsicle stick, some scissors, jute rope, glue sticks for the glue gun, and some birdseed. The first step will be to glue half the popsicle stick to the inside of the can. Once glued, we are going to take the lid of the can and carefully fold it in half. Take the folded lid and glue it to the inside rim of the can. Be sure to fill any open space with the glue to ensure a seal. For the next step, we will glue the handle of the bird feeder. Cut a piece of rope about 2.5 to 3 feet long. Align the rope to the popsicle stick and glue it on the outside of the can. Once secured, we are going to wrap and glue some of the jute rope to the can. For aesthetic purposes, glue some rope to the bottom and top outside rim of the can. All that is left to do is to fill the feeder with some birdseed and hang it outside. Next project, we'll be making a plastic bottle bird feeder. Project, you will need a plastic bottle, scissors to cut a string, a marker, a lighter to heat up the pin, a screw eye hook, 2 wooden spoons, glue sticks for the glue gun, and of course some birdseed. The first step is to attach the screw eye hook to the top of the bottle cap. Just mark a spot in the middle of the cap, heat up the pin, and use it to melt a hole on that spot. It will take a few tries, and you may need to heat up the bottle cap to soften the plastic. Once the pin goes through, screw in the hook tightly and set aside. Next, mark 2 spots near the bottom of the bottle perpendicular to each other. These will be where the round part of the spoons will sit. Then mark 2 spots on the opposite side of the bottle, parallel, but slightly higher than the first 2 spots. This will be where the handles of the spoon will sit. Now it's time to carefully cut off the spots marked. For this, I tried using the lighter and pin method, but found it took too long. Ended up just using something sharp to slice the bottle and clean up the cut with an Exacto knife. You may need to adjust your cuts using the wooden spoon as a guide. Once your holes are complete, glue the base of the wooden spoons to the bottom of the first 2 holes and the spoon handles to secure the spoon and to seal in your cuts. I ended up cutting the holes for the spoon handle too high up, so instead I widened those cuts and made 2 new ones slightly below them. Now that it's glued, we can twist the lid on and add the birdseed. The final step is to cut a piece of string about 1.5 feet long and tie the 2 ends together. All that is left to do is to hang the feeder outside and wait for the birds to enjoy. Apocalyptic Art hosts sessions every week till July 7th on Thursdays at 5 p.m. I want to thank you for joining me in this workshop, And I would like to leave you all with a few key tips when choosing your bird seed for your bird feeders. Pick a seed blend for the birds that you already see in your area, not just the birds that you want to see. And be sure to get the seeds that have not been treated with pesticides or insecticides. Also, be ready to see some squirrels trying to get at your feeders, or in my case, a chipmunk. If you have any questions, you can contact Sketch on Facebook, Instagram, their website at sketch.ca, or send an email to info@sketch.ca. Thank you again.